When commercial tenants are searching for office space, there can be quite a few problems and challenges that affect them. Firstly, look, it's a very time-consuming process for them. You know, they're trying to do their day-to-day job, and then at the same time, they're trying to do a role that really isn't their normal, natural role, searching for commercial office space. You're chasing agents that aren't returning calls. You're searching for information on the property, and you might not get all of the bits and pieces that you require. There are many pitfalls for tenants when they're actually doing the office leasing process on their own. During the process, they're not really getting the opportunities to see what's off the market. They're only really seeing what's on the market. So they really could be missing out on the perfect property that they could have obtained if they had had an agent acting for them. Quite often tenants approach us and they've been looking for a considerable amount of time for a property and they haven't been able to find what they need. But also a lot of times tenants don't understand exactly how much space they need, and that can be a major issue, because you could lease too much space or actually lease too little space, and it can leave you with a number of problems, and they can be very costly problems. So we take that away from the tenant, because what we do is we do a space analysis. We discuss in detail with them what their requirements are, get a real understanding of what their business needs and wants are, and then we go to the market with a brief, with a clear understanding of what we require for that client. And then from that, we can shortlist properties and we go and inspect them. So we take away all that time and that effort where somebody in that organization has to leave their day-to-day job, go out and start inspecting these properties and calling agents. We take that all away from them. You know, we know who the agents are, we know where the properties are, we're very familiar with the market. That's invaluable to the client, really. Also, when it gets into the lease negotiations can be extremely complex. If you don't have an understanding of the legislation, you can make quite alarming mistakes, but even more so the terms that they're negotiating. If they don't know where the market is at that time, they could be paying too high of a rent, and they may not even understand if they're getting a good deal. Whereas if they have an agent acting on their behalf, we understand the market, we understand what incentives, what the rental tone should be, and we can negotiate on the best terms. At the end of the day, the landlord has an agent acting for them. Why shouldn't a tenant have an agent acting for them? And that's where we come in. We act for the tenant. We're independent from all of the landlords. So we're giving the tenants the best advice to get them the best terms and secure them that right property. The savings that a tenant can make when they use a tenant advocate can sometimes be significant. So we recently acted for a not-for-profit organisation where we took them right from the start of the process to the end of the process. So what that means is we sat down, met with them, understood what their requirements were, and then we went to the market to see what was available off the market and on the market, so we could ensure that all opportunities that were available were going to be presented to them. Then from there, we were able to do the due diligence. We were able to go and see, do these properties actually suit the requirements? And from there, we did the lease negotiations. This was such a complex deal that the negotiations were quite contracted. They went back and forth. Without a tenant advocate representing an organisation like this, there could have been significant errors made and significant costs occurred at the same time. 9 times out of 10, we saved them a significant amount of money that they save our fee and more. And we're a little bit different than other advocates out there. We charge a fixed fee solution and it's highly competitive. At HKC, we see ourselves as an extension of your organisation, and that's why our clients really enjoy the relationships that we build with them.